Hello, everybody. We are now unmuted.
Fuck! Shit!
So start back from the beginning. Hello, we got a guest. Hello.
We have a guest.
I'm
we have
sorry.
Aya. Saege
Yeah.
can't be here.
Oh, okay. I'm just seeing the thing. I was like, it looks fine on my end, but I have it muted, so...
So do I, because I'm used to streaming where it'll start looping infinitely.
I was about to mute myself while this was going on, and I looked down and we're muted, and I'm like, no!
And you're like, oh, hey.
Anyway.
Okay,
So
now,
Aya, do you
now
want to
I'm
do the
muting
recap again, or do you want me to speed through it?
Oh, okay. Passion died. Everybody was sad. Onyx wanted to kill the universe. Did not manage to do that since we're all still here.
Well, some of us are.
And because Tomo was quick on her feet and put the kill switch on her butt or whatever.
Nailed it.
Yes, accurate.
Put it on your butt.
I believe a joke about kill.
That
so-
broke alt.
I believe there was a joke about kill switch engage somewhere in there.
Yes.
Yes.
Holy diver, all that kind of stuff.
Holy diver!
Welcome to playing games with me. I make really bad recaps.
No, it's the best
No,
recaps.
it's great. Real quick, we're gonna do a quick flashback. Passion.
For real.
It is the midst of the fight. The anarchist points at you and says a single word that you don't really hear in the chaos of everything going on. A ray of black energy shoots out and hits you, and you're expecting pain, but nothing happens. You sort of open your eyes and look around, and you're not on the roof any longer. You look up into the gray, foggy sky above you and see no rift, no red skies of Del Diablo, no skyscrapers. You are clearly not in Del Diablo anymore. You're standing on a vast open plain of concrete, almost like a parking lot, surrounded by water. Far in the distance, you can see a figure moving through the water, something absolutely huge, the size of like a jet or an airplane or a very large ship. It's long and eel-like and has just dozens and dozens of legs, almost like a centipede, but they are as tall as skyscrapers. Every step that it makes through this water is crunching. And every step it takes, you see a little ripple of water in the water. As you're sort of looking around and gauging your surroundings, across the ground in this parking lot, something scuttles towards you. At first, it looks like a pale crab, but no.
Time for crab.
It is a hand. A pale humanoid hand, except where the wrist would be are a set of eyes, and then flanking that are three more little fingers behind the eyes. It sort of stops and stares at you curiously, the little fingers tapping against the pavement. Scotty, you dick. You hear a voice in your head. So you're a new arrival then, huh?
New arrival. What?
I can tell. You look fresh. Too fresh. It's weird. Sort of looks up at you. From Puerto Obscura, then?
That just kind of look. What? What's Porto Obscura? What do you mean? I was in Del Diablo and then this.
Oh, honey. No, you're not in Radix anymore. This is Dark Radix? So either you stepped through something real fucked up, or you dead a little bit. When I say a little bit, I mean totally.
Cat, hold on. I would. This is probably not her first time being here then. She's died once. No?
No,
No,
she has never seen this before.
Okay. Huh. This didn't happen the first time, I guess. I don't know. I didn't step through anything weird, so I guess I died.
The hand sort of, the little three fingers just sort of do a shrugging motion. It says, well, you might as well come with me. You don't want to be here anywhere near here when that thing gets tired of hunting. Sort of like pointing toward that massive creature in the distance.
All right.
It sort of hops and points in the direction away from where that creature is, further into the distance, where that concrete, it looks like it just goes forever. As you're sort of walking, it says, "You're in Dark Radix now. It's like Radix, but shitty. It's from what I gathered, it's where things go when they frag out, when like you got so much corruption that you just sort of unwrite yourself. That's what happened to me. That's why I'm a hand with eyeballs. Yeah."
This is some body horror shit.
Do you see Scotty's picture, Alt?
No. Hold
Oh,
on.
hang on. I have art of this weird little thing that Kevin drew ages ago.
Look behind Scotty if you can.
Oh, no, I see it.
Oh yeah, okay, there it is.
Also, the duck is just
Thanks.
flashing in and out of reality. That thing is weird as fuck.
Yeah.
Looks like a Majora's mask on top of a hand.
Looks
Is
like
it-
something
A
that
little, yeah.
should be hanging out in Sigil.
So he starts to lead you away from that creature and into the distance. And he's just sort of chattering in your brain. It has no mouth, so you're guessing it's telepathy.
And it must scream.
I was gonna say that.
Hell yeah.
Just sort of chattering away, like, "So how did you die? What's your name? What were you doing? Like, where'd you, like, how did you die of corruption? Like, you don't look corrupted."
I was
Yeah, you fucking
disin-
faker.
Yeah, I think I was disintegrated by somebody. I don't know how I'm here though, because
Oof. That sucks.
It happens.
yeah,
I love
Rip.
this crab.
yeah. Press the F button.
Press the F button.
As in the chat, boys.
The thing sort of like scuttles along, and you're walking along this sort of long expanse of concrete, and it feels like you've been walking forever, even though you turn around and it looks like you've only walked like 100 feet or so. Until eventually you arrive at what you can start to see buildings in the distance, but crumbling and overgrown with like this dark moss and dying grass. And he says, "Oh, this is where we can get to a better place around here, away from the scary things." Yeah. And as you guys head into that strange city, we will close with Passion for now and go back to the rest of you guys. You all are standing on the rooftop, minus Gurk, who has ran back home to get the components to attempt a reincarnate spell. Onyx has stalked off. I think you're still on the roof, but you have Passion's Recaster with you. Susan is sort of standing there passing out energy bars to whoever will take them. She sort of passes one off to Tomo, and Tomo, you realize that the energy bar has Barclay's face on it. So Susan's looking around. She says, "Okay, so I know that things are really hectic right now, and you want to you probably have a lot of things you want to do, and you want to try and help your friend Passion here. And I do feel a little hurt that you don't trust our priests of corruption here to do the resurrection, but I understand. You folk are not from here, and it's understandable." She says, "I can offer you folk a ride home, or Tomo, or do you prefer Nia or Vix? You had mentioned perhaps going to Neo Radame for a resurrection."
Alt's currently
Tomo
not
is
here.
Alt.
I
Okay.
sent a message in saying I'm gonna BRB.
Oh shit! Cool.
I was like,
Oh, hi, I'm back.
"Dude,
What's up?
Perfect
Oh,
timing."
hi.
sorry.
She just gave up some secret deets about Tomo while you were away.
Oh,
Like
nice.
Tomo's name.
How dare you.
Susan turned to Tomo and said, "So Tomo, or do you prefer Nia or Vix?"
That's in character, by the way. Oh, God.
I know that you had spoke about maybe wanting to go outside the city for the resurrection that is required to bring your friend back, and that is a thing that we can arrange and give you the charm so that you can do that safely. If you would like to rest before you go, we can give you a ride to your home or wherever.
I've got my bike. Thank you, Susan. And yes, I would like that charm, please.
For the rest of you, the city is very, very grateful for this. Obviously, we're going to have the parade, but clearly you guys probably want some time to rest and recuperate and grieve and whatnot. But we're prepared to offer all of you 5,500 gold for your services to the city. And one boon from the lords and ladies, such that you might want it. I believe Gurk may have mentioned his already to Walking Nirvana, but he vanished, didn't he? We'll find him later. I'm sure Walking Nirvana can track him down. And it was 5,500. So. Oh shit! That just went to Gurk, not everybody. Yes, that is noticeably less than you guys had heard before.
I believe it was 3 million last time.
It was 200 million.
Or was that the bounty on your guys? Because
I believe it was.
Why is it even
doing that?
Because I have to mute them separately because it's weird.
Okay.
I believe it was 300 million double dollars.
Yeah.
So that's like 900 million.
Reference to Vash's Stampede. It's fine. Dry gun, whatever. Anyway,
I got it.
Nice.
So, because Luke did point it out in the chat, you guys had been offered. Give me a second while I find some stuff because I got like 6 pages of notes here or some bullshit. The bounty that Demona had told you guys about was 200 million.
That was close.
Hey, Susan.
When you get to that
yes.
point, it doesn't matter.
Just out of curiosity, we were told this bounty was a little higher than.
Oh, that's just what the city is offering. The bounty is, of course, offered through the guilds. I believe Miss Demona here should be able to help you track down whoever that is willing to pay that out.
Understandable. Okay.
And of course, if they are not in the city, then I can also give you folk a charm to go collect said bounty, because I'm sure you would love to use that money, presumably to raise your friend.
Yeah, that too. She's so nice.
She's very nice.
So do you folk need a ride home or?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Yes.
About this point, Onyx, what are you doing?
Onyx is on her way down the building. She's walking home.
Okay, just walking down the stairs.
Is it like raining? Is there like sad piano music playing in the background?
Just rain over her head.
Mad World. Yeah, I was just about to say, Mad World starts playing.
wait a minute. I got something for this.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't see. Oh, you got your automaton.
Okay, so short little side tangent. I got a bigger automaton immediately Friday because I'm dumb. So I went and bought a new one. That's what this is.
Perfection.
just
Wait.
Good lord.
Oh, Scotty hit the brown note.
Yep. There you go. There you go.
Bless.
Onyx, as you are heading down the stairs, you feel a sort of tug in your hand of the charm bracelet that is Passion's recaster start to pull. And it pulls out of your hand and starts to float up the stairs and seemingly out up the stairs and back up toward the roof.
I try to grab it and hold on to it.
Make a dexterity. Yeah, dexterity save.
Sleight of hand or?
That's a dirty 20.
Nice.
You do catch on to it, but it is pulling. And the more it's pulling, when it can't get away, it's starting to burn your hand.
Onyx is holding onto it, but following it, basically.
As you follow it up the stairs, and you guys all see Onyx come out of the door, which is no longer there because Demona was standing in the doorway when she cast 6th level fireball or some bullshit. So there's no door anymore.
It's gone.
And it drags you through over the rooftop and in the direction that Tomo you recognize as the sector or the district where the Seasonal Girls Ranger Command is.
Oh. She like checks the non-existent watch. Yeah, I guess it is about that time.
Oh, Onyx is
you're
holding
not-
on to this.
Onyx, it's gonna go to a Henshin command. It kind of has to.
Well, Onyx is a Henshin, right? It should be fine. Oh wait, I'm not there.
I mean,
Thank you for reminding me.
Onyx, as you're holding on to it, it is going. It's starting to lift you off your feet.
Yep, Onyx is holding on to it.
Onyx, just let
She's
it
not
go.
gonna lose the fucking friendship bracelet.
I gotta find my d20s. Kevin stole all my fucking d20s.
Well, it's tied. It's tied to the ethereal plane, like the spirits, right?
You can just do roll a d6, it'll give you the same results.
That's valid. But I'm
Ouch.
not using. I
Wow.
love
Or
you,
I think
Aya.
you mean
These
Aya.
dice are gorgeous, but they betray me all the fucking time. I'm
I
not
think
using
even a
that one.
D4 would be better for her.
You're not Lilia. You don't have bard levels for vicious mockery.
What do you mean? She doesn't have vicious mockery. She's a good bean.
Onyx, you're sort of holding on to it and reaching out because you remember that there is a wall of force around this building because it stopped you. And you sort of have your hand out, guiding where that wall is. And about 15 feet up or so, you still have that wall that you can feel. And the bracelet starts to, as you're sort of holding on tightly to it, like your fist tightens even more and it feels like it's not there. And you actually see a ethereal form of it there for a half second before you begin to fall to the rooftop.
One moment. Considering that it's ethereal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I am a monk.
Oh my god, you're gonna pull some bullshit.
I mean, the minute someone
Try and
says
reason that
I
her
am a
magic
monk,
hands let her hit the
Yes,
ethereal.
exactly, because that lets me actually wound creatures that are otherwise immune to, or that it makes my fists magical.
Magic grip.
But it disappears, so it
It
doesn't
would?
matter.
But this is not technically ethereal. This is it going to the grid. Onyx just doesn't know it. All you see is it starts to get that same ghostly image that you've seen Passion's cat have a handful of times when you've seen Salem.
So essentially, it's casting plane shift on itself in a way.
Effectively, yeah. And it just blinks. Tomo, you've seen that a handful of times before at Ranger Command with different things.
yeah.
You're pretty certain it just went to the grid. And Onyx, you fall to the roof.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna try
well,
to.
I
You're-
do have
you're
slow
fine.
fall, so I'm
Yeah, it's
fine.
15 feet. Even if you fell on your face, you'd still probably be fine.
The saddest 15-foot slow fall ever.
Oh.
I see it more.
Oh, and it is
not-
slow fall because you have a wall right there too.
I don't imagine it as slow fall, and more basically that's the height you can fall from and just like
Tank it.
Superhero
tank it.
landing.
Yeah, superhero landed.
Fuck my knees. They're fine.
Yeah, Onyx lands and she like
They're made of rocks. They'll
Angrily.
be fine.
she angrily punches the force wall.
I mean, it hurt. It's a wall of force. You might have damaged it, but it is, however, you've seen these things before in various different places. It is an energy wall. It's not technically the spell wall of force.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah. So Cyberus,
Well,
if you
guess
will take
Onyx
her
is
up
going to
on-
Henshin Command Seasonal Girl Group to get the shit back.
Cyberus, if you are interested, Susan does sort of gesture you towards a car, and
A roof car?
so, yeah, one of the flying cars that the Knights of Maleficence have. They are tall, like humanoids, but they're wearing this heavy black metal armor.
Oh, are there
Um,
multiple of these here?
Oh, they're fucking all over the place. There are probably about 30 cars surrounding the building, and at least probably about 30, 40 knights wandering around the building.
If I remember correctly, they have like shoulder pads and
Mhm.
big FU helmets that have like
Judge Dredd.
visors that you
Yeah,
just
my
can't see their
brain
eyes.
is my brain is somehow mixing the Judge Dredd armor plus like the Daedric armor in Skyrim.
Ooh, that's a good combo.
That's
I'm
pretty
Let's go
cool.
with that.
I'm honestly thinking like the Arbites from Warhammer 40k, which
Oh,
are
yeah, yeah.
basically Judge Dredd, but they are even like a little bit more extra, you could say.
I would say they're like they got the Warhammer full plate on, so they're kind of
Yeah,
a bit
yeah.
much.
Onyx is going to move to one of the cars.
Oh my god.
If nobody's
open
stopping
the
her, she's
door.
gonna take the car.
Tomo's
He's gonna
trying
fuck
to
up that car
talk.
the way
She's
the
like,
Power
"Fuck."
Rangers fuck up cars.
Non-registered officer attempting grand theft, initiating self-defense. Disintegrate, Ray.
Send her to Passion.
Onyx, for God's sake,
one of the
just-
knights does sort of stop and says, I can drive. The car doesn't technically work for somebody that isn't attuned to them.
Drive into the
Somebody-
fucking Henshin command here.
Non-attuned
What now?
individual within 10 feet. Please stand back.
Tomo, you are aware the official Del Diablo government does not know where the seasonal girls hideout is.
Yeah. Onyx, a couple of
the guy's
things.
just like, the what now?
You know who would know though?
Are they seasonal like the year seasons,
That
or are
is
they
a
like
passion.
seasonings?
Do we need
I
to
mean,
speak with Dave?
No, like
he
the
does know the seasonal girls, I guess.
the summer and
He does know the seasonal girls here, but not where
Yeah.
their base of operation.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wherever the fucking seasonal girls hang out.
Onyx,
they
two
sort
things.
of are all over the place.
What?
And
For starters, they don't know where that is because we operate outside of the government. Second of all, even if you got there, you couldn't get in.
Watch me.
No, I won't. I'll go and get the goddamn thing. I will take it to Neo-Red Amy and I will get her resurrected.
Susan sort of if
Onyx,
you, would like to
you can see Onyx
both
is
go.
seething. She has so much fucking energy in her and she's really upset and she just wants to do something. And because she can't do anything, she's kicking the fucking car in front of her.
I
Roll an attack.
understand.
Oh, that's
That's
such
an
a mood.
F20.
Jesus.
Roll again.
He's
Are we-
going
are we
fucking
gonna have a-
Street Fighter on
are we
it.
gonna have a Hertz vending machine moment? Or are we rolling initiative?
Oh god, it's gonna turn into a transformer. Just be like, why are you doing this? I'm just saying a nap.
So
Why?
max damage plus one or plus another roll.
Fun fact: there is a
Gotta
toy.
look up
There is a toy
damaging
of
objects.
Judge Dredd robot transformer where he turns
is?
into a cop car.
That's awesome.
Despite all her age, still just a rock in a cage.
I rolled max damage too.
It's just like a nice person that like has corruption that turned him into a car.
So what's your total damage?
This is a mom of 3 children that are all in the backseat of this car.
When the
It's 17.
Okay, yeah.
When the
Where
show's
did
playing,
you kick the car?
when the show's playing in a restaurant, it's got the subtitles. The subtitles are Onyx threw a rock at it.
Where on the car did you kick?
Probably somewhere like at the front.
Yeah,
Like-
you definitely fucked it up. There's a big ass dent there, and it's probably gonna fuck the axle. And the knight is just like, that is. And Susan just holds the hand up and shakes her head. The siren on the car starts going off before the knight just reaches into a pocket and clicks a button.
Violence detected.
Yeah, basically.
Onyx.
I'm being
Civil disobedience detected.
Help! I've been
Threat
hit by
minimal.
another car. Oh wait, that's a person.
Better to be dead than red.
Oh god.
But for any who will take them up on it, Susan does sort of gesture to the cars, and I don't Miss Tomo or and then I don't know which names you prefer. I know many of you have different names, so I believe it's Cyberus, or do you prefer Rusty?
Jesus.
Cyberus.
Okay, and Miss is it Miss Onyx or Kitira?
Jesus.
She
What's
gets
I
the
think you know
AC?
what everyone's name is.
she gets
Susan's?
Susan's.
Just roll and tell me what you get.
Oh no! Why?
Oh my god.
I'm half
That should
tempted
be an,
to see.
like,
Go ahead.
Honestly,
what'd
she's
you
just trying to get herself killed at this point.
No,
I mean,
she
from
did
what
the
we
thing.
know,
She did the
it
thing.
sounds about right.
What
did
did
the
you get
thing.
on your attack?
18 plus 9 is 27.
Yeah, you hit. Roll your damage.
As
Are
a,
you
re-
just punching her across the face?
as a reaction,
she
dexterity
headbutts her.
save.
She headbutts her. 4. She's not raging, so it's 8
That is
damage.
much damage.
She sort of like reels back a little bit, reaches up, and it's a big red spot on her head, but she's not bleeding or anything. And she says, "That was not very
Don't call me
kind."
that. I'm
Okay,
Onyx.
I apologize. I like to know everybody in my city. I treat everybody in the city as if they were my children, and I want to make sure that you have you're called by the name that you choose. I apologize. But I can. Would you wanted to go to where Miss Tomo? I believe you can direct us to where these seasonal girls have
No.
their HQ, and I will. I totally understand if you would like to have us strap you off and then you walk the rest of the way yourself. For the rest of you, would you prefer to go to your home in Twin Pines, is it, or to elsewhere? We could take you to a hospital. I know some of you are a little injured.
Currently
I don't-
imagining that they're probably like by this point camera drones too and such. And I imagine that people just saw
Yeah, you just
someone
the
fucking
entire
headbutt.
city just watched you headbutt Susan in the face.
Everyone hated that.
Hashtag
I don't know.
hashtag not my mom.
So I will say that easily enough, you guys can pile into the cars, including the one that Onyx kicked the shit out of. It still
there-
functions, but the driver has to go in through the side door because the passenger door or the driver's side door is fucked.
I
So are
imagine
we-
it
are
also
we
does
live
very
on-
burying sounds as it flies around.
What was that, Luke?
Are we live on TV right now then?
Presumably. You're not sure.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the camera and say I'm going to my favorite restaurant, Grep's.
You can do that. Yeah, so you guys make it off of the rooftop and to wherever you want to go. Where do you want to go?
A great way to calm down after such an intense battle is getting a nice cold cup of Nevsky.
I prefer Cuba Cola.
Nice.
Yeah, Onyx also got into a car.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever's in the car with her can like constantly hear her cracking her knuckles.
We're so on edge on this team. Oh my god.
It's almost like somebody died or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
someone,
come on.
someone's everyone's favorite person died.
She basically, as they're flying, like it's visible that she's like somewhat calmed down, and she pulls out her phone and calls a number from the group chat that was set up.
And 100, you need some sunshine, girl.
Oh, hey, look, it's the cranky one from a certain skeleton.
I can't believe you called Barkley.
Your phone rings.
Wait, Sammy's?
I will say,
When
for
does this
Sammy,
happen?
this has happened after last session of vaccine. You've now heard the news from her cat Salem and have taken. It's probably been about like 5 minutes or so of you trying to calm down and resting with your friends and
So is this before Yas or after Yas?
after Yost.
Okay. Well. Yeah? How can I help you?
Luna Knight,
Yes?
I need Sammy.
Yeah. Okay. Hello?
Hey, Sammy.
Hi, who is this?
It's me, Onyx. And Passion is dead.
I know her, well, I didn't mean to say it like uplifted like that, but well, her cat came by and he gave me a note, and yeah, I know she gave me a note, but we're almost done here. There was a lot happening, so I'll be there as soon as I can.
Okay, I'm
Don't
sorry.
worry. No, it's not your fault.
It is.
It's not your fault. It's not.
I didn't do enough. I wasn't strong enough. I failed again. And
From what I've seen and what Passion has told me, you are the strongest person she knows. And I don't think it's your fault. Things like these happen. Trust me, I know there's things that you just can't control in the world. And people are going to do crazy things that you just can't stop them from doing. It's just who they are. Just like you can't be stopped by other people when you really want to do something. It's not your fault.
maybe you're right. Maybe you're not, but I don't know. I just felt so helpless. Now again.
I know that feeling.
Can't do anything. And
Yeah. You can do something now.
hopefully.
There's always something.
Well, at least we stopped him from like blowing up the city or whatever. So
Yeah, you did it great. You did great.
I mean, I almost killed him, and that would have blown up the city anyway. So
You did it.
I wanted to.
I want to too. I've never hated anybody as much as I hate him.
Well, I think he's disconnected from the bomb now, so when you're here, we can go assassinate him together.
Zippy just kind of like looks off into the distance and like literally in the back of her head, yes, do it.
Evil Kermit.
Do it.
Yes, she did just say that in a cop car.
Give in to the
Yep.
dark side.
You're super under arrest.
Do it. Kill him.
Do it. Kill him.
All right.
Well, I don't know if I would like to, get arrested in Del Diablo. That seems like a bad idea. But we will do everything we can without getting hurt. Because I don't think Passion would want that.
No, probably not. I will. We'll talk when you get here, and
Yeah.
just take care.
You too. Don't do anything stupid.
No promises.
Don't do that. That's what she said. Sorry. That was the last thing she said, and I don't want anybody else to get hurt.
Well, then I guarantee you that I'll do something stupid because that's usually what I do anyway, no matter what. So it's just a matter of time.
Well, don't worry. I'm gonna be there lickety split, so hopefully it's not enough time for you to do something stupid.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Sammy, back in Neo Radame,
Mhm.
as you're sort of, I assume you're sort of like sitting off into a separate section of the garden with the rest of your friends having this conversation.
Mhm.
Ranger Prime, Yost, approaches, and he says, I just wanted to let you know that regardless of the fears that you have, you are Henshin. You are one of us here at Ranger Command. And that means that you have full access to the teleporter so that you can go to them and go to her.
Thank you.
I am going to ask that you let me hold on to that ring for a while, though, because you don't want to be wearing it when you go into Del Diablo. He sort of looks over at Crypto and he says, I'm sure that your friends will be more than willing to help you deal with whatever layers of corruption you may obtain while you're there, if you can't find another way to remove them. But
Okay. And she'll give it to him. I don't know. Whatever it takes.
You have to do what you have to do, sweetheart.
Thanks, Bark. Thank you for believing in me.
For good luck. And he hands you the shades he had on.
Those
Are those the
glasses?
yeah.
+1 AC, there you go.
Yay! Oh. You're gonna make one of us cry. I don't know which one.
And I will say that Vox can easily enough lead you to the teleporter room where
before we leave, Sammy turns around and Vina says, I miss you, ex-lizard breath. I will see you soon. Don't you go dying on me, old man.
You either. Be safe in that city. And
Yeah.
seriously, don't go unconscious down there or die, because I don't know what will happen.
Not planning on it, because that would be shitty.
It would be, yeah.
Yeah. All right, peace.
The second she puts on the glasses, immediately Lunar Night.
Yeah. So you make your way to the teleporter, in range of command.
Callie says a liar send her off with a bag lunch and a thermos full of tea.
I love it.
I love the differences between our groups.
It's the best. And they easily enough punch in the destination to send you to the Del Diablo Command Center. All of your friends wishing you good luck and telling you that they love you and that they'll be here for you when you get back and if you need them at all, and giving you big hugs.
Oh, she can just hug all of them at the same time.
Dio and Simon mentioned that maybe they'll go check in with the professor and see if he knows anything else about all of this weird stuff that Yost told you guys about.
Yes. That's a good plan.
You step into the teleporter and there is a flash of bright light. And when you open your eyes again, you are standing in a simple room where the walls are sort of like stacked stone, almost like you're underground. There is a long hallway in front of you of more stonework, and above you is a stained glass chandelier and a compass-like design on the floor that is just starting to lose that glowing fade of power from a teleportation circle. And coming flying down the hallway is a purple fairy dragon. And he says, "Oh, hey, Sammy, right?
Phil, right?
Yes. Hey, so I heard what's going on, and the rest of I know Tomo and I think maybe Onyx will be here soon. So if you want to come in and sit down, I've got summer made tea if you're interested."
Oh, I also brought tea because my friend really likes it, so she gave me this giant thermostat that I don't know where she was keeping, but if I had time, I would have made snacks, and I am so sorry I did.
It's perfectly fine. We have plenty of snacks. I live with 14 girls. We have so many snacks. And he invites you in. Yeah. And we'll say that about this time, Tomo and Onyx and whoever else would like to, Tomo, you know that you can take other people into the Ranger Command base as long as there is somebody to open the door for them. And I will say that Gurk, you a few moments after you got the stuff from the hairbrush, Walking Nirvana sort of pops into your head for a second and says, your friends are safe and off the roof and heading to Ranger Command, I believe, here in Del Diablo. Do you know where that is?
I have no idea.
Nope.
Now it's time for Gurk's adventures in the big city.
We'll say about now, Seth is like, so a lot happened. He's sort of like peeking into Passion's room where you are. He's like, do you know where the others are? Do you want me to go get them or call them for you? Since I know you can't really do it usually unless you're a crow.
No, I'm sure they're fine.
Okay. So how many of you guys are going to Ranger Command?
Gurk will actually go there after he stores... God, this is so creepy out of context. Passion's hair in his room, and then he leaves as a bird.
Okay. I will say easily enough, you can make your way to them with
I turn into
talking to them and
I turn into a giant eagle because why not? Damn. A giant eagle.
Yeah, you're fast as fuck.
Spider. So just imagine a large-sized spider with wings.
Thanks, I hate it.
Is it instead of one of like the pairs of arms, or is it with the pair of arms?
No, like all the pairs of arms is the same. The head is an eagle's head, and they're just wings on its back. Eagle wings.
Excellent. Okay.
Maybe like inside the beak, like when it opens up, that's where the fang mandibles are for the spider.
Thanks,
I
I hate it.
imagined a spider with 8 wings
Oh,
instead of legs.
Because that's goofier, let's go with that.
What is Cyberus doing? Is he going with them or?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll go with whoever needs me.
I will say for sake of easiness, because everybody's going to be there anyway, that Demona will go with you guys as well. But on her own bike, because of course.
I'm trying to think how those the 4 pairs of wings would work. Would they like all flap at once? Would they be like an alternating?
Yeah. So the opposing ones would be
set 1 and 3 are up while set 2 and 4 are down.
It'd be a rolling. It'd be a rolling thing. You know what I mean? Like
you're just a helicopter oriented like the other way.
Yes, exactly, like this. They just do this all the way.
Oh, it's so weird.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I think that's the best like weird ones you could do for that.
Yeah, it's almost like Super Mario with his cape.
Yes.
Kind of up and down glide kind of thing going.
So I will say easily enough, you guys can make your way to Tomo. You can tell the Knights to stop maybe 5 or 6 blocks away from where you know the entrance is, and the group of you walk the remainder of the way. The entrance is in the subway in an old forgotten section of it that isn't really used by the city anymore because it's not exactly the safest for the newer, much faster trains. Past a gate with a lock that can only be opened when touched by a recaster, which Tomo does so. A long, dark corridor of smooth stone eventually gives way to rough stonework that's sort of braced with wood at the top, like a mine tunnel. And it ends at a single door on the right of the corridor that opens into, Tomo, you know that door opens into an electricity box that has nothing there. The real entrance is that blank wall. When you press it at a certain point, about 3 feet off the ground, the door swings open easily to reveal the common room of the command center here. It's it's made of more of that stone. The entire command center is underground. The common room is scattered all over with like large trees and potted plants. There is a huge semicircle couch with pillows, and dropped hoodies all over the place, facing a large fireplace with a TV above it. The coffee table is piled with like bags of chips and cookies and magazines and textbooks. And would Sammy be there, or would she be, say, in like the kitchen?
Well, if they let her, she'll show them how to mix like baked goods.
They will definitely allow you to.
Because as has been previously established, Sammy stress bakes very much.
Yeah. You guys, when you go in, you see Winter sitting on the couch there. And she just immediately launches up over the couch and runs over to give Tomo and like runs over and then is like awkwardly like gives you a small hug and it's like I'm so sorry, we saw it on TV before the cameras went down and then Phil patched in the Ranger Command stuff. But you guys are gonna get her back though, right? Like that's the thing. Of course. I know she's like I know that Ranger Command doesn't usually do that, but
I've got an idea. It's okay, Winter.
She was like a really she was a big deal back home, so maybe she's got a lot of money. She should be able to. I know her parents were kind of shit, but
that's fine. We'll figure something out.
Okay. The new girl, Sammy, she's in the kitchen with Summer making like 6 different kinds of cookies. I lost track.
Winter says that, and you can see the red glowing bits of Tomo's mask's eye socket turn to her and just be like, Sammy's here?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
I called her
You called her?
You guys were in different cars.
I was on my bike. I didn't know any of this.
Oh yeah.
Yes, why wouldn't I call her? She needs to know. She already knew because Passion thought of everything. But...
Oh yeah, I know. Trust me, I know Passion thought of everything, but I didn't expect her to show up here after a phone call. I guess that. Okay.
Winter sort of leads you in because I just found the document because my internet takes for fucking ever. She is an Aragonasai, and has platinum white fluffy mohawk and shaved sides and pale blue skin. She's like wearing a button-up shirt and like cargo shorts.
No, my weakness.
Teenager, stop!
Yeah, just like
Onyx.
No!
Onyx is
to
there,
remember.
and just like, no, my one true weakness.
I've got the file, Cat. So
Yeah, she is
That is a very important question. What is
Let's
your age now?
Winter. She is probably about like 15.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
No!
These
Onyx,
kids
no!
are
That changes a lot.
babies. They're very young.
That changes a little bit, yeah.
That
No,
changes,
Onyx is
that
not
changes
that-
a lot.
Yeah, none of these
These are-
girls are over 16 years old. They're all
They're
exceptionally young.
babies!
Okay.
Onyx is not that much older than them. I want to point that out. Like,
She's an adult, and they're not. Stop!
Actually, no, Onyx
Barely.
isn't an adult.
yeah, no, she's an adult.
She's underage, technically, for Rye.
I hate that.
She's
I don't
27 or so.
I don't want to
check.
think about that. So
Me neither. Let's just move on.
moving on.
She leads you through the common room, and you can for anybody who's interested in looking, the common room, it looks like it's got a small balcony that when you peer over looks down into a pool. But she leads you into the kitchen, which is a like smooth dome bunker like section or room with wide open space featuring a long table with benches that can seat like 6 people, a smaller table in the kitchen that can only seat like 2 or 3, and just a huge collection of armchairs over in the corner. Phil is on the back of one of the chairs in the kitchen, and Sammy and Summer, who is a human, and she has curly red hair and dark skin and freckles, and she's wearing like jeans and like leather jacket, and they are currently making whatever kind of cookies Sammy has been able to throw together in like 15 minutes you've been here.
Now you put the jam into the cookie, and then it makes a little print in it. And it's shaped like a little heart, so it looks like a heart. Isn't that cool?
It's so good. I love it. They're so
Hey-
pretty. Mine
hey,
never
Phil.
looked like that.
Hey, Don.
It's like, oh, hey,
If people want real food, I can make real food.
you say that, and out from one of the other doors that you hadn't really noticed anything, you guys see Dawn, a Aasimar girl, and she is the youngest. She's like 12 and just barely. A young girl, big poof of blonde hair that's held back with like a headband with like green sequins on it, comes barreling into the room, and she says, "Oh my god, real food. We haven't had anything but pizza in like 4 days." And you guys can easily see now there is like a pile of 10 pizza boxes on the counter.
No, what are you kidding? They need nutrients. What is wrong with you?
He's like, I don't have. Okay, they are so picky. I make one meal and they're like, no, we don't want this, Phil. I'm a vegetarian.
I was
You
gonna offer
make the
pizza.
vegetarian meals.
He's like, yeah, but she loves bacon. I don't have time to make both. Also, have you seen my hands? And he's like flailing his little claw dragon hands.
Now, girls,
He's
when
like,
I
my
get
maid chain can only do so much, okay?
Listen,
You need
when
more
I get
hands.
back, I will send you some recipes that you guys are gonna love. They're super easy, and you can all make them together.
Onyx like sees all this and is like kind of tired. She just turns around, goes back into the like main hangout area, plops down onto the couch, and her like with her foot, basically, she stomps onto the table, and her goal is to some of the snacks that are laying around on there to just throw it up towards and into her direction. And
When did
if
she
it's
become
something that is-
Dante?
Strength
and
check.
if it's unpacked, she's gonna try to catch it with her mouth. I'm just gonna real quick make an acrobatics or something.
When did
Yeah.
Onyx become fucking
That would probably
Dante?
that would be a sleight of hand check,
Or
definitely.
sleight of hand, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there like a box pizza where there's like one pizza slice left?
Oh
And-
yeah.
and then
There's
that's-
like
you
10
catch the
pizza
pizza slice.
boxes,
Oh,
but
that's
you'll be
perfect.
lucky if you can find like half a dozen slices among all of them. They've definitely been picked over and probably been sitting there for several hours.
Nearby,
That's
there's
a
a great
15.
great sword and a gun.
Was that a 15?
Yep.
Okay, you manage it. It's not the easiest. You manage to like kick up a box of cookies, and you do catch like 4 or 5 of them in your mouth, but the rest of them like hit you in the face and fall off the back of the chair that you were leaning over.
Onyx is okay with that. She just like
Phil's just like,
the ones she catches,
Fine.
she's just like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hi
Either.
everybody, I'm Sammy.
the other
Hello,
one, Dawn, is just clapping. Yeah, that was awesome. Can you do it again? Oh, they're all over the floor now. It's only been a second though, right? It's fine.
What does the outside of the tower look like? Through my eagle eyes.
As you were flying up, I will say that you probably saw them heading down and could have followed, because if you didn't have Tomo with you, you wouldn't be able to get in.
Okay,
So
but
you
what
saw
is-
the same.
What does the tower look like? Like, is it just like a bunch of windows on the outside?
It's not a
what's going on?
tower. It's completely underground. The entrance is in the old subway systems underneath the city.
Oh, this is extra gross then, because I have spider climb.
They probably think it's hilarious, but
So,
everyone else
you know
is
how,
like,
like-
no thanks.
You know, like bats and other mammalian have like the
Oh Jesus!
wing
How
talons.
big is the giant owl?
I'm not a giant owl. I'm a giant eagle.
Yeah. Oh.
Giant spider eagle.
And
It's
my
pretty
legs,
cramped.
think like giant spider, but my legs are wings, but they're also legs apparently, because I have spider climb. So I was going to say, the wings have like the mammalian wing talons, but they're spider like leg end talons.
Oof. I hate it.
So I land and I'm just like upside down in the tunnel. Just...
Yeah. The girls think it's hilarious and adorable. Everyone else is a little disturbed, probably.
When I
I
get
feel like
when
our
I get
group
there,
is-
Also-
you hear like some like horror movie like screech of an eagle mixed with some other creature.
It's very cramped in
Oh, hey,
these
Grok's
areas,
here.
especially in the hallways.
I roll a persuasion check to let me in. 21.
They let you in. They know that you're with Tomo.
I somehow got a nat 20.
You just looks like the most fluffiest, cutest bird ever. Bird spider.
Bird spider. Ugh. Thanks, I hate it.
Spider.
So Phil is sort of flutters over to nearest where Tomo is and perches on the edge of the table, and he says, "So what's the plan?"
I need her recaster. I assume it came back here.
He says, "I can show it to you, but you're not going to be able to take it with you. It wants to go. It wants to do its job.
I
Come
know.
on, I'll show it to you." It's
Passion
command center.
gave that to me.
He says she's free to do that all she wants, but the recasters kind of have a mind of their own.
Yeah.
They do what they do. Come on, I'll show you. He leads you into the command center, which is a dark room dominated by the one wall is just a wall of screens displaying like maps of Del Diablo, several different news feeds, some of which has your guys' footage on it, and communications from Ranger Command. In the center of the room is like a hollow table depicting actually the building that you guys were on and the surrounding streets. Across from the computers is a set of pylons with a energy grid between them, and zipping around inside this grid rapidly, smashing against the grid with fizzes of power, is Passion's recaster. He sort of nods to it and he says, "It wants to leave. It
Obviously.
wants to fulfill its purpose. It's supposed to find their
Next
purpose
one.
is to find the next ranger.
Right.
We're keeping it here. We'll keep it here in stasis for as long as we can, but it's draining a lot of power. And Tomo, you realize at this point, you've been in this room before, and the lights are not usually this dim.
Yeah, they're not usually this dim.
No. He says it's draining a lot of our power. But we'll keep it here for as long as we can.
That's fine. I plan on moving
He
quick
sort
on
of
this.
looks over to the rest of you and he says, for some clarification, the recasters, when a Henshin dies, they go back to the grid so that they can be remade for the next person, or if they feel the need that there is another Henshin needed, they'll go to whoever they find most worthy. But we're going to try and hold on to it until you guys find a way to resurrect her. I know that's what you guys want to do.
Can you deputize me as a Henshin and I hold on to it?
It doesn't work that way. If it worked that way, I would just carry it with me. But
he's like, yeah, unfortunately, I'm not really high enough up in command to deputize people like that, unless we were like actually at war or something.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
Doubt.
If Vox wasn't like on the other side of the planet, I would have asked him to do it.
Yeah.
He's
like muscle
like
Henshin's official.
What?
You mean making muscle Henshin's official, or?
I think deputizing you.
Muscle Henshin? What does that mean?
I'm a muscle Henshin.
Anyway.
Just everyone in the room doubt.
Wait! Here, I did bring you a present. Oh, I was gonna give it to you on better circumstances, but I do have something for you, Onyx. And then she'll like pull out of like pocket, I guess, whatever. She has a little box with like the Henshin command symbol logo on it. She'll give it to you.
Onyx looks at it for a moment and is like, okay. Then she opens the box.
Inside is like a 3D printed recaster, which looks like a bracelet that has two fists on it. And then like when you press a button, they punch and they glow. Do you like it?
Yes, very much. How sturdy is it?
What?
How
It's 3D printed, like
it's 3D printed.
Yeah.
I mean, it can withstand being on your wrist if you get shot on the wrist, or if you punch somebody with like this part, it's probably gonna shatter. It's like a hard plastic.
I'll find a good place to wear it so I don't break it.
I would give you a real one, but I don't think I have that power. Although Luna Nay might have that power, so who even knows?
Onyx gives her a hug and it's like, thank you.
Oh, she gives you like the biggest hug you have ever received.
Oh.
And forearms.
If no one's gonna stop me, large size eagle spider is crawling around the place, checking out every room.
Oh, they do not stop you. In fact, the youngest one, Dawn, is walking around and like showing you everything, giving you whoever is interested the tour of the place.
I was gonna say, I assume that Autumn is probably fascinated with Spider Gurk.
Yeah.
I want to say this. I love the seasonal girls. Like I would watch like a show about the seasonal girls.
Same.
They're the best. I love them
I
so
would
much.
absolutely. That is like 100% my exact niche.
Sequel. Everyone plays a seasonal girl.
Yes.
I'm down.
I'm down.
It's only 4 seasons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We fight.
Dawn also isn't a season.
This is Nera Nami. There couldn't be more.
Oh no, her real name
I
is Dawn.
know.
Her Henshin name is she's
You can always just make
She's
up
Spring.
shit.
No, she's Spring.
She's Spring.
Okay. I'm
Summer,
gonna
summer.
put shit into the Discord about them because
I have the
keeping
sheet.
track of them all.
Do you want me to just link the sheet? I have the sheet.
That works.
Always make up more seasons.
Yeah, so they show you
like
around.
general weather things.
Yeah. They show you to the gym, which features a nice hardwood floor with a hoop fitted to one end, and a hollow projector on the ceiling that shines down the lines for a basketball court. And she points and she says, that there, she points to like a large like computer display panel on the wall. She said that one allows you to switch between the basketball court and the hoop for a volleyball court, and a soccer pitch, and the training course that we do.
The eight wing arms just over to the computer, and my large size eagle beak is like, because eagles, their eyes are on the side of their heads, right? So his head like turns sideways, and he's looking at it, and then his beak just goes.
What do you want to try and change it to?
I don't know. Ooh, that was actually pretty good. A 17 on intelligence check. I just wanted to change it to another room.
Okay. You change it to the volleyball court.
As I panic a little bit as everything shifts.
The hoop sort of retracts into the ceiling, and the light lines on the floor rearrange. From underneath the floor, a volleyball net comes up from between the two things, and you sort of like get your wings tangled in it because you're fucking gigantic, and flail around for a bit.
Oh no, spiders and eagles would both be able to retract their limbs pretty close to their bodies.
True, yeah.
Did somebody go help him? That seems like a problem.
Now that I think about it, I don't just have two big eyes. I have like 4 eyes on each side.
Compound eyes. Yeah, no, the girls think this is fucking hilarious.
4 eyes are looking at you, Sammy. They don't blink.
The pool is a small, bright blue tiled pool surrounded by rough cave walls and overlooked by the balcony. And then they'll gladly enough show anybody who are around who is interested, just given the tour. And Dawn's like, and then this is my room. It is painted pink with these massive detailed painted flowers covering most of the walls, and dozens of hanging planters. They're actually like arranged above the door to create like a hanging vines, almost like a curtain over the door. Summer, her room is just an entire wall of shelves filled with like novels and textbooks and board games, and a sort of like horned decorative football helm over the bed. Against one wall is a huge chalkboard covered in like doodles and a to-do list and battle plans, and off in one corner is like little chibi cartoons of the group that you guys are guessing are probably drawn by one of the other girls. Twilight's is painted like a dark purple, but it is just filled with splashes of color from just an entire wall of stained glass. It looks like it's lit from behind by with lights, as if they were windows, even though you guys are underground. They're like mermaids and ships. Another one is a blossoming tree filled with hundreds of birds and insects and butterflies. And compared to like that wall of color off to the other side is like a work table filled with all the stuff for glass cutting and whatnot of making that sort of stuff. Looks a little bland compared to that. And the last girl, Winter, is a little bit more shy, and she's like, you don't have to show my, okay, fine, you're gonna show my room. All right. Her room looks positively tiny, as it is framed by these two just gigantic overflowing workstation. One has like 6 or 7 computer screens on it, like several different keyboard computer parts and different things, like half built and half taken apart, and a cluster of like chemistry equipment and beakers that have like little tiny bits of flowers in them. Those of you with slightly more higher perceptions, probably just Gurk and Cyberus, notice that they are the same flowers from Summer's room. And then on the other room, on the other table is just a jumble of art with sketches everywhere. Some watercolors, most laid out on the desk, but some like up on the wall, taped to the wall. And as you guys are like sort of peeking in, she sort of runs in and like throws a blanket over the desk with the art, and she's like, "It's fine, you guys. Nope. See, it's super boring. We can just go. You guys want to see Phil's room? His is super weird."
You hear a fairly subtle, maybe lower than normal baritone, almost clucks. as there is an eagle head under the blanket.
She just like panics. Oh God, no! And smacks you on the head. Oh, I touched a weird eyeball. How do you see through those things? Like, what? Can you see color with those? Oh, I touched
It is absolutely wild, my man.
I'm still under the blanket when that happens, so like I jut back flinchingly because I'm an animal right now.
Onyx size.
And I stand upright, and my feathers are like floofed. I'm
Hey,
large
Kat,
size.
sorry.
Hey, Kat, I have a question. I probably should. Whatever.
You're fine.
Is it okay? Does it feel like it would start doing weird shit if Lunar Knight like showed up?
No. The warning that Yos gave was not to go unconscious here, and definitely don't risk dying.
Onyx walks into the room because she has all that's going on, and it's like, Gurk, let the poor girl hide her smut that she's drawing. She's
like, it's not smut. It's not smut. It's just a comic I've been working on. I'm shy about it.
Working on the comic again?
Yeah.
Got any new
shy
pages?
about it. It's not good enough to show anybody.
Obviously,
it's great, Winter.
Obviously, that's not what I'm looking for, but I am actually looking for something. Do I find any spots? Gurk could care less. If there are any spots where there seems to be like seams in the walls or the floor for maybe like secret hallways or stuff.
You do not see any, no.
Not with my special eyes.
Look with your special eyes.
Instead of saying my
if
brand.
you're ever comfortable enough to show it for everybody, I would love to see it. I saw your little pictures in the other room. They're really wonderful.
Realizing there's literally nothing that they're really hiding that is of strategic importance.
No, they're just teenage girls that are shy.
I decide to roost out on the couch.
Okay. You can easily enough. The couch is fucking ginormous. It could fit all of you and the girls and probably then some.
A horse-sized spider eagle?
Okay, it'd be a little cramped with all of you and the giant spider eagle.
Spiegel, just call it Spiegel.
Now I think about it, when he would be all roosted, it would just look like a very weird giant eagle with 8 wings, because they'd all be folded up onto it.
Yeah, that's
and it has
true,
an eagle head.
Onyx turns to the seasonal girls as they seem to be all more or less gathered around here now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like a wall somewhere you don't mind getting painted on or something like that?
Oh no, there are plenty of walls here. We like Summer painted hers super. We have a couple that you could paint. I think there's a the hallway right next to the teleportation room is completely untouched, and the ones in the hallway leading to the command center you can paint.
Okay, cool.
I think Fashion said that you like painting too.
Yeah, she goes basically first to the one that is like by the teleportation room and starts just gets all her cans out and starts working.
As they were giving you the tour, the girls started to go to, or Winter started to lead toward Phil's room to try and show him to distract everybody. And just as she opened the door, it looks like there's no bed. It's just a gigantic like beanbag chair the size of a bed, a full wall of various different like potted plants and trees and whatnot, and a desk. But instead of a chair, it's like a perch because he's a pseudo dragon. Or he's a fairy dragon, and you guys hear a fluff, a whoosh of wings, and he sort of zooms by and yanks the door closed with one claw and is sort of like perched uneasily on it with like flapping. Like, no, okay, nothing to see there.
Hey, Tomo, is Onyx gonna be okay? I'm worried about her.
Probably. I mean, I don't know. Probably not.
He's like, so regarding the actual, like, doing the spell, I do know of somebody, in case you don't want to go back to Neo-Radami, for whatever reason, I know that it might be a bit much to go there with her coming back, because with her family and everything. I do know somebody in Luxor Prime that is a priest that is advanced enough to know how to do something like that. He's a priest of Altaziel. It might be a little faster than just trying to find somebody in,
Yeah.
New Red Emmy.
I
But it's up
only
to
just
you.
moved there, so I don't know any clerics.
I had to go over there anyway, so I can deal with that part. Also, yeah, Sammy, I assume that Onyx is probably painting.
Okay.
She,
As long as
like-
she's not gonna wreck anything else.
No, she's a good artist.
I didn't know that. Do you want a cookie?
Sure, I'll take a cookie.
He says, but I think you guys probably need to meet with Susan or somebody again to get your charms to make sure that you can safely leave the city. But once you do, I can send you wherever you need to go.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Seems like I have a couple of meetings to go to.
He says, well, for what it's worth, Susan is going to want to see all of you because, parade or some bullshit. And I think she mentioned something about a reward on the TV. Did I hear that right?
Vaguely. I guess we're getting one reward from the city, which reminds me, hey, Demona, get on that fucking contract.
Oh, yeah. Apparently the guy lives outside the city, so we're going to have to go. It's out near, it's actually not that far from Neo Redemy if we're going there.
I was waiting for you to say Luxor Prime again. It's
Sorry,
like,
I
we really want to go to Luxor Prime.
I heard that too.
I just heard a crash of what sounded
It's like
a
the
frying
new
pan
Henshin
falling.
Museum or something.
No,
that
okay, I
was
just
not
mentioned Luxor Prime because he actually knows a guy there.
But no, Kai, I was more ready to joke. You're like, we're going to Luxor Prime now, guys. Let's go.
Henshin Museum. Yost is there.
Yes, what are you doing here?
Exposition dump. What are you doing here?
I was just joking because you said Henshin Museum and he's old.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Dragging him under the bus like that.
Better than Over the Moon.
What moon?
It might end up.
I
badly.
want to go to the moon. That is where my body is.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to fucking any of you guys.
Also, that never happened because I'm like, Ka! I can only speak Giant Eagle currently.
We just look over there and you're just eating an entire pizza box.
Yeah. Seriously, if there's any food
munching
in this
on the actual
room,
box, like,
it's gone.
They're teenage
It's gone.
girls. There's food fucking all over this
Oh,
place.
it's gone. All of it.
This is the cleanest this place has looked in months.
No. There's it's even more of a mess.
And it's not even like teenage girls. It's teenage girls that work out a lot all the fucking time.
Think like
They're
Bull.
constantly hungry.
Think like Bull in a china shop, but it's a large-sized Gurk creature in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So if anything flies towards Onyx where she is working, you can it gets thrown back with force. So
Right.
from the mess that Gurk is doing. And what she painted on the wall is basically a slightly stylized mural of passion. And basically behind her, it's like spreading like wings, like almost like it basically is that effect of Infinity War, was it? Infinity War, where they just go into dust, and it's basically her, but still recognizable as passion, and it is completely held in Passion's primary and secondary colors of her Henshin outfit and everything.
Yeah.
And once she's done that piece, she goes over to another wall, where she starts something different. It's even more stylized, even more comical in its whole appearance and everything. And it is her, Onyx, giving Susan a headbutt. It is over dramatized because you can see like it's basically like a series of images, like the first one of her like walking towards Susan and like a speech bubble next to Susan, like going blah blah blah, and then Onyx hitting her on the head, like where just the moment of hitting her in the head, and then you can see the next one where like there's like a huge like blood splatter as she reels back, and then it's like one more of Onyx like saying like with that one, shut the fuck up.
Winter sort of walks over and she says, "That's really good. That's really good art." I will say though, maybe don't headbutt her next time you meet Susan, because I'm pretty sure that might be treason to attack a lord and lady. But I'm guessing they were cool with it, considering you guys just sort of saved the city a little bit.
Do I look like I care?
I mean, no, but I'm just warning you.
I like the other one.
I know that my team gets pissy with me when I do stupid shit and rebel against the system, and I get told I shouldn't, but...
No, go, you do
Just
you, and
saying.
she like gives her a fist bump.
She's like, but we really did want to go and help you guys, but by the time Phil wouldn't let us, and he told us that Tomo wouldn't want us to be there anyway, which like I get, but I don't like.
It's cool when
Trust-
it happened so fast.
Trust me, Winter, it wasn't. It was better that it was just us up there.
Yeah.
No offense to you girls, it's just any more people it would have gotten.
I know, but we might have been able to help.
I know.
You're gonna have plenty of fights that you're gonna be able to help with.
Don't let the other men keep you down. Remember, fuck the system because the system's fucked.
You see the red lights in Tomo's mask just roll.
Just like angry dragon peering around the corner.
Just don't
Disappears
hurt
back.
anybody, and you'll be fine.
Tomo,
Don't hurt
turn-
good people.
Tomo
Onyx.
turns her head over her shoulder and goes, "Hey Phil,
Yeah.
it's time.
Oh.
To duel?
You and me need to head over to Henshin Command.
Okay. He
We need
was
to get
coming.
Onyx out of here because before she does any more damage to these poor innocent girls.
Oh no,
Wait.
Tomo is totally fine with you telling Winter to rebel because
Just
Tomo's been
wait.
trying to get Winter to rebel this
Because
whole time.
passion is also the same. God, our group is just fucking full of. I'm not surprised.
I'm gonna go like start pushing Onyx like very easily, just like moving her along. And be
Onyx
like,
has like earbuds in. You can just hear like, "F you, you won't do what you tell me."
Just like spray painting a line as she gets pushed.
I get very depressed. Like,
Passion never dies.
I wish my guitar was tuned. I'd play that part.
I actually can play that part too on my bass,
Yeah.
but I don't have it. I don't have.
I can
anything
I can also sing
I
that
got
part.
you guys. Don't even
Actually,
worry about
yeah.
it's really funny because isn't that the song I picked for one of her one of Omen's songs?
I believe maybe.
Omen, I think it's one of the two songs she got to play.
Can't remember anymore.
Me neither.
You guys make your way back to the the like kitchen area before the common room and see Cyberus and Dawn working on cooking all manner of meals. If Gurk allows them to actually make anything for other people.
I just assume Don is pouring it in his mouth.
Are you sure they're even cooking anything? Because it's kind of like, oh hey, I smell a slice of pizza in that pile of pizza boxes, and they explode as I charge into them.
It's probably like they're cooking while like shoving the garbage can towards you and like gently trying to aim the gigantic eagle spider at all of the food that already exists.
Think of like if they foolishly had no supervision and there was a dog there. How do you think the dog would get to the food?
A giant dog.
Rip and tear?
On the counter.
Rip and tear.
Rip and tear.
I don't even think it's tearing for Gurk. It's just I'm gonna eat the whole pizza box. Just and swallow the whole thing.
As an eagle, yeah, that's totally what that is. Oh, that's even grosser.
Just like the seagull thing with like
because
an
I got mandibles
burger.
inside it. Oh.
I hate this.
So it kind of looks like a
And
basking
he's using
shark
the
then
mandibles to like
inside.
shove the stuff inside his mouth.
Like
the
it's
whole
TV
pizza box.
PG-13 and the screen is just blurred. Just the whole screen.
Just nope. We're not prepared to show this
Everybody's
nonsense.
canceled.
Nope.
That's it, we're done here.
But after they're done with, after all that extra food is done, I revert back to my actual form.
Okay.
Onyx looped back to Winter and is now bonding with her over like punching techniques and such.
Okay.
Sorry about eating all the food. I was a
She's
little
like,
hungry.
I'm better at the magic, but I can do punches a little bit, I guess. And she like punches you, and it like you've literally been hurt by a cat more.
You hear like a squeak as
I
You're
also
doing
heard
great,
that
Winter.
She's an air genocide and magic mask. Strength is not her strong suit.
I
All
imagine,
dex and charisma.
I
Look
imagine
at
if
both
she,
of my girls with their beefy arms.
I imagine if she actually punches Onyx hard enough, she hurt herself.
The sound of her punch on you.
I'm actually trying to remember. I don't know whether or not she would actually be able to do anything to you because I don't think her fists are magic. Her Henshin weapon is magical yet.
No.
Oh no, wait,
doesn't
the
matter.
one-arm
What
stuff never
level?
becomes magical, does it?
No, but she does 1d4 damage no matter what because because Onyx isn't resistant to things right now.
Yeah. She is still resistant to bludgeoning.
Yeah,
It would be bludgeoning if it's a punch.
depending.
Yeah.
Because
If they
Stone Rye.
But if they picked no, hold on, because there's
Mm.
a thing that lets you change the damage type if you picked it.
She did not know.
Neither did Passion. So
She's a magic mask. She probably went for the one that gives you a cantrip.
so did Passion.
Sorry, I just went into
I
the
mean,
corruption chat and saw
fair,
the GIF.
that's what I did.
But Phil sort of flies over to Tomo and says, as soon as you get the charm, I can send you where you need to go. As long as you're just going to Henshin Command, you'll be fine. But if you guys need to leave to go to a different temple, you're going to need a charm. Otherwise, you guys are going to link corruption like a sieve.
Oh yeah, I know. No, this was more about that the other thing.
He's
we
like,
talked
for her, and he points to Sammy. He's like, her, I can, my corruption breath can probably cure. But you guys have been here long enough. I don't think I can cover that.
Oh, what a nightmare. Also,
Nah,
sorry
I
about
was-
Also,
sorry about
I
all
think,
your food.
I think that
I was a little hungry, and I cast
think that
Goodberry.
Vina will get in on this conversation about punching fists and magic girls. She's like, no, you're doing it wrong. Clearly, you gotta punch her right here because otherwise, you're gonna just cut herself on her rocky bits.
Gurk, as you cast Goodberry, Dawn is runs over, who had been cooking, is like, oh, I haven't had one of these in so long. I haven't had one since I left home. And like takes it and grabs like a little paring knife and starts taking little bits of it because good berries, they take an action to eat. So I imagine they're like a peach. They're not a berry.
I mean, it could be like a tomato.
They're like
which
this
is
big.
technically a berry.
Valid, yeah. But she's just sitting on the kitchen counter talking with Cyberus about various different meals and whatnot. And Cyberus, it's very clear as a trained chef, this is the only child in this entire place that knows how to cook. From what she's mentioned, it's probably a miracle that Phil can boil water.
I'm worried about the nutrition.
she's like, well, we normally have like food delivered. Our like wages from home usually cover takeout and stuff, so it's not just like junk food. But
Do you have an assortment of gems worth around 1,000 gold that you're willing to consume?
are you gonna eat them?
Well, I mean, I was gonna make a meal for everybody if that's fine. It's pretty expensive though.
There's a bunch of food right here. I don't know why you need 1,000 gold of food.
But okay.
She's like,
Right,
Phil might have something. I don't know. Phil's weird. He hoards things. Like he's not a real dragon, but he acts like it sometimes. His like computer is a goddamn nightmare. We joke that he hoards icons on his desktop because literally
Hey,
no one
Hera,
can
it's
see
you!
how
Oh my
to
god,
Oh my god,
he's
that's-
that kind of person.
That's adorable.
Ah!
Out
Hera,
of character.
it's
That's
you!
adorable. I'm not gonna lie. A dragon that hoards icons on a computer.
that makes me itch from
No,
like
He literally has a
Aya.
.txt file that's literally just like it's a blank txt file, but he has it just so
Aya.
there's another icon on the
I just
desktop.
got a
Hera's
text.
computer was that.
I
It
just got a
still is
text from
that.
Kevin saying, "How dare you say Phil is not a real dragon?"
yeah.
Tell Kev, of course, Phil's not a real dragon.
Wow. He could be a real
Pretender.
dragon if he wanted to.
Now I'm wondering if he's actually watching the stream because I don't know if he could have heard that.
Uh-oh.
No, Kat,
Oh, no,
Kat,
his
hold on,
hearing is
hold on.
better than
No,
mine.
Kat, as someone who plays during your game, you're very obvious when you're saying stuff. We can
valid.
hear you pretty well.
Is he using a legendary action to stream snipe?
If he is watching the stream, fuck y'all.
If he is watching the stream, hey. Hi.
Hi.
Chat an image of my desktop, by the way.
Kevin, I have
Oh.
heard everything and everything you said, and yes, my hearing is better than yours.
I'm gonna vomit.
I know, right, Aya?
Huh?
Oh, I have to go look
Look
at
at
this
look at
heresy.
Retroverse chat.
I've seen worse,
What
but
the
Mood.
fuck?
Depending on what it is, I might put it on stream.
It's Hera's. It's
Am I
Hera's
allowed to
back.
put this on stream?
it's too dirty. It's disgusting.
It's
I can't.
disgusting. It's not.
That's
safe for
actually
work.
not that bad.
Why is
No,
there a
it's
group of folders?
Well,
What?
Well, I just want to make sure there's not something on there that you might not want people to see.
You
There's
don't
no
want to
porn
show
in
the
there.
porn.
Pretty much. Okay, so Hera, Onyx shared their desktop screenshot. Are you fine with me posting it?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Gave me an aneurysm.
I know. No. Oh.
I'm sorry. Is one labeled weeb stuff?
Yes.
Weeb
Vex's
shit.
weeb stuff.
No. I
Vex's
remember
weeb
this.
stuff.
It's my weeb shit from when I was there playing Big Eyes Small Mouth with her. With Aya.
Ah, okay. All right, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I sent you a picture of that, Aya. I sent that in the group chat the one time.
It seemed familiar. I just forgot what it was.
Yeah, it was my besom shit.
Phil is sort of like, I don't really have diamonds worth that much. I could probably obtain some from Ranger Command. But if you're asking about the gem, Mr. Brupter, that's what you go by? Yeah.
Yes.
I did some research and talked with the more magic familiar people at Ranger Command right after it happened, and I don't think I don't know that any magic aside from a true resurrection spell would bring her back. And no offense, but I don't know that that's a thing that druids can typically do.
Oh, I could probably reincarnate her. I got her hair just in case.
He's like, I don't think that one would work. I think it needs to be a little fresher than that, if that makes any sense. Also, this is Cat talking. For Disintegrate, because it specifically says it's 2 different spells. They're 9th level spells.
Yeah, it's fine.
So he's like, I unfortunately, the nature of the spell that he used, I don't think it can really be reversed aside from with 9th circle magic. And although you guys are exceptionally powerful and surprisingly efficient in combat, No offense. We train literally every day, and they work pretty damn well together in combat. So you guys did pretty good together. Yeah, but I can, and he sort of looks around to the rest of you guys, and he says, "I'll get as many of you as need to go to elsewhere. It probably won't be with the true teleporter. I'll probably have to actually use make a circle, but I can teleport you guys just fine. And it would make sense. Demona would speak up and say, "Well, if you've got a teleportation circle, I can get us back home at least."
Well,
I was just told I can teleport too, so.
He says you can teleport with the teleporter, but
yeah,
that's only you and Tomo and hopefully Passion when she comes back. Unfortunately, your friends here,
that's true.
Gurk and Cyberus and Muscle Henshin, are not given clearance for it, unfortunately.
that reminds me. Your name is Sammy, correct?
Yeah.
You have quite a weird corruption on you.
What do you mean? I don't have corruption.
You seem to have 2 souls bound within you, and you're also a moth lady. I've never seen one before.
Well, for the second one, I was born that way, and the first one, that's not corruption. It's something else.
Interesting.
That's what I've been told.
Well, I do have magic that can make a new body if needed.
Oh no, we have the body. We know where that is.
Oh, okay.
Cyberus, if you attempt to sense corruption on her, you don't sense any on her.
Does he go crazy again? Does he scream?
It's one of those ones. It's one of those ones again where most De-Fraggers outside of Del Diablo, when they look, they see a blip of color. It's a photo negative for Cyberus. Things stand out if they're not corrupted because you're in Del Diablo. Even though the seasonal girls look like they probably you see the tinges of it on them, but they don't have a full layer. The entire room that you're standing in is suffused with a small amount of corruption.
Interesting. Probably.
Also, I probably shouldn't be telling people about the whole 2 people thing. So let's not talk about it. Probably, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the rules are anymore.
I get that feeling.
He's like, we're friends here.
Yeah.
Passion and Tomo trust them. We trust them.
Well, I guess I'll go home with Demona then.
Does anyone,
This is an interesting place you got here. That was that 3-day-old pizza wasn't that bad either.
He just sort of turns and looks, and Winter is like, I'm pretty sure that had mold on it. A good amount of mold.
Yes, it did. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen him eat literal mold, so it's cool.
mold is healthy. It teaches.
I have a friend who once put apples and vinegar into salsa, and I'm realizing that's normal compared to you guys.
That sounds disgusting.
Greg, don't you have literally no sense buds?
Taste buds?
Taste buds?
You can't. Keep in mind, he's a Trog with his eyes.
It's perfect.
His eyes are completely burned out.
Are tingling.
If you recall, he's a Trog. He doesn't have his eyes, so they're just eye sockets with massive burn heels. He faces Onyx.
We know.
And goes.
I hate how he does that. It's so unsettling.
Onyx rolls her eyes.
I saw that.
Do you have your familiar in that room?
I'm joking. I don't see that.
Okay.
There was no response, so I assumed Onyx did something.
That's valid, yeah.
All right, bye.
So I will say, if
with us?
But I'm not needed, and
You don't want to come?
apparently don't want corruption around. That would be the last person you'd want.
I don't mind corruption.
Do you want some?
In my head, I say, "Are you fine with this?"
You
my
hear
head?
walking Nirvana
in
say,
mine.
Oh, okay.
I will not be going with you. I don't think, well, the charm doesn't exactly work on me super well. It only works for a short time. And also, it's real itchy outside the wards, so I just rather not. Also, like, it seems like a bad idea.
I agree. I didn't want to go anywhere.
But when you make your way back, I believe our mutual friend Susan did offer each of you a boon. So presumably, when you come back, we may talk about that request that you came to me about earlier.
Okay.
I
just stand there, like, just staring at nothing for a moment as this conversation's happening all in my head. And I go, "Yep, nope, you don't want me to go." I'll be home.
That was him saying, like, I can leave for a while if you want to go, but you don't want to take me with you. He's like, I've got other places I can go. I'm in like 6 other people, so you're fine.
In Gurk's head, he's just like, personally, I don't want to go somewhere that I don't know about. There's too many unanswered possible risks involved. So I'm
I mean,
not gonna
personally,
leave.
I prefer a little bit of risk, but it's each their own. So I will say that Gurk and Demona, if you guys would like, can head on home and rest finally. Although it hasn't, I think it's getting toward evening now at this point. Probably you guys have probably been hanging out with the seasonal girls for a couple of hours. You expended a lot of spells. A handful of you took a lot of damage. Bill's sort of like
Before I go, anybody hurt? No? Okay, never mind. Bye.
Don't worry, I can also heal.
I actually don't know that many people were.
Nah.
Yeah, I think it was
I'm a
just
little
mainly me and Demona did the tanking.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
have
if
a
I
little
need
bit.
to, I cast heal on Demona, but I don't think I need to.
No, I think Demona healed herself with that fireball.
Mhm.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She cast cheese ball and cheesed it.
If we're leaving, I'm gonna leave behind a pile of magic cookies.
Do they make any cookies out of my good berries I left them?
Magic cookies.
Because you said they were chopping them up and stuff.
They're gonna try, but I'm gonna say that the magic probably doesn't last super long.
They last 24 hours. Until consumed.
When you eat the whole thing.
Yes.
When you start cutting it up, the magic gets diffused and doesn't really work as well.
Maybe good berry pie, like apple pie, those would be big enough slices.
But they're super happy to try the cookies. Sorry, the chat is just a wild place.
It always is.
So you guys can head on home to rest for the night. Phil does offer, he says, I know that it might be a little hard going home to a place without passion, so if you guys want, the couch is definitely open. As long as your friend stays Gurk sized and not, giant eagle, there should be room for everybody on it. And if not, I'm pretty sure the girls still have sleeping bags and whatnot.
Big is this couch? Oh my god!
As I'm leaving with Demona,
it's fucking huge.
As I'm leaving with Demona, I've taken at least 5 of the boxes. I think that's as many as I can carry.
Okay.
Cardboard
Yes.
makes good support, friends.
This command center was clearly built for a group larger than this one. Like each the like kitchen and the like, I can't remember what I called it, the common room could easily fit probably a team of about 10 people.
Onyx is going to turn to Sammy and is like, do you want to, like, I don't know, see Passion's room or something like that? Or rather not?
Wait until she comes back and shows me herself.
Okay. Well, Onyx says, I don't know if I'll stay here. I don't think I want to go back home alone. And first off, she's like, gonna
I
make some
will say
calls.
now that you've had a moment to think about it, if you were to check your phone, you do have a message from Lily.
Oh, what does it say?
I saw what happened, and I'll meet you wherever you want if you need.
Oh.
Tomo just looks at Onyx and goes, "Hey, if you want, you can stay at my place. It's probably a lot nicer than the apartment, and I'm not going to be there for a while."
I'm not sure I want to be alone. I'm not
Well,
sure I can be trusted when I'm alone.
I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere.
I was going to say, call, I don't know, call Squirrely.
Hey, Demona, the phone's...
Guys, I have girlfriends.
Okay, then call your girlfriends.
Hey, Demona, my phone's doing that shake thing again.
I have more than one?
Demona, that phone, it's doing the shake thing again.
Notification.
And I can't turn into anything to look at it. So, what does it say? Is it anything important?
Does it say?
Penis enlarging.
No, what you said. She said Susan sent us a text.
Oh no, it wasn't Susan. It was Lily. It was Onyx's. Lily sent Onyx a message. Onyx's girlfriend that she hit on like ages ago.
I thought this was a group chat thing. Never mind.
No. And the other one she's talking about, it's not really her girlfriends, but Cordelia and Hannah.
Yeah.
She like
people she slept with.
Yeah, people she slept with.
Oh, you know these straight.
Aya's like doubt face.
Come on, the three of you, adorable.
But I will say that if you guys want, you guys can find your way to a night of rest and attempt some sleep and relaxation.
I can't remember right now if Onyx told Lily that she has slept with Cordelia and Hannah.
I feel like I remember her panicking about it in the group chat.
Also, I don't think she ever told explicitly told Lily what her relationship with Passion was either.
Nope.
And Lily deserves better than you.
Oof.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, technically they're not a thing yet. They just flirted and gone on a date.
That's fair.
I remember you chatting her and then Onyx got
you.
And
then
Onyx
texted her.
Kissy faces, and that's girlfriend material.
And then Onyx got drunk texted her and said "I love you" in a drunk text.
Yep.
Yeah, Onyx is actually gonna message her and is gonna say, basically, we can meet. I have some things to tell you.
Oh.
She will text you her address.
Okay.
She probably saw you on the news.
I do.
Yeah, the entire world saw you guys on national fucking television.
It turns out she's one of the cops, and like you get there and there's like, like freeze! You're under arrest for vandalizing police property.
Vandalizing property? You're under arrest for treason for headbutting a goddamn lady.
Lil was a narc the whole time.
No, but see, since she was your girlfriend, she was able to deduct that part.
Which is even funnier, because I'm pretty sure one of the first things that Lily flirted with her was asking if she was a narc.
Yes. Yes, she did.
Yes. Because Onyx asked her what she found when she pickpocketed a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Onyx basically now has better to rip off everything right now than to pick at it and stuff. So yeah, she's heading to Lily, and she tells Sammy, I maybe back later.
Hey,
I don't know, depends how things go.
Use protection.
And if you need
Oh my god.
I will.
Oh, Sammy.
Oh my god, I love her.
If you need anything, I can come back to. It's fine.
I'm fine. It's fine.
X.
Huge. Tomo's jacket just scrolls down the back. Doubt.
I like to think for some reason because
There's
Sammy,
a lot of not sureness in her voice.
since
It's just
Sammy
a
had time
picture
to
of
bake
Cold
cookies,
Phelps.
I like to think she has on her baking apron. And for some
Oh,
reason, I
God.
like to think it's like pink and it's like mom or like mum on it.
It has it. It probably is like oh, what's it called? When you like sew a bunch of different kinds of materials. Yeah, it's like a patchwork one. That looks like it's been worn a lot, and it's kind of a little bit small on her too. But she's been wearing it for a long time.
Oh my god, I love her so
Oh.
much.
Her mom is an artist. She's a crafty person. She makes her stuff all the time.
So you guys make your way to your various places to rest. Onyx, you get to Lily's apartment. It's not anything super fancy considering she works at a bar. It is similar to what your apartment looks like after the renovations that made it a little nicer. She invites you in. The it's not like exceptionally fancy or anything, but it's neat. There's a good TV there, and a couple of like video game consoles. She sort of leads you over to the couch and has a thing of tea on the oven and a big ass bottle of booze. She's like, I don't know which one you wanted, but I figured it's better to be prepared for both.
Onyx sits down and takes a bottle of booze and just takes a big swig from it, and then it's like hands it over. You might want this too.
Oh, she takes a swig as well, yeah.
Okay,
And sort of
so
sits down across from me on the couch.
I don't know where to start, but yeah, you remember that night where I sent you a bunch of texts,
She's like, yeah, I remember that.
kind of drunk.
I
Well,
had no idea.
that same night, I also kind of slept with two girls. So one of them who I was supposed to protect, and I protected her really well. So I don't know. It's confusing.
Like, well,
I think I actually really like you, but I like them too, and I really like Passion too, and I don't know. It's strange. I fall in love with people all the time.
she sort of sets the bottle of booze down. She's like, well, for what it's worth, we never said that we were anything exclusive. She's like, and I know that the world is a strange place, and you clearly have a much more dangerous life than I do.
That's fair to say.
I feel like as long as you're happy and you're fair to me, and I know who you're with, because that would be nice. Love isn't a thing that's just one thing that you give away and it's gone forever. You have enough to share, and I'm willing to share you. I know that you have a lot going on. I think you killed a terrorist today, or at least stopped him.
Almost. Glad I didn't.
Yeah.
I think we wouldn't have this conversation otherwise.
Yeah, we probably
I have
wouldn't.
details.
Yeah. It was an interesting shift. I kind of closed the bar early. She's like, honestly, I tried to make my way to Demon City to meet you at that building, but the entire city was on shutdown. Traffic was horrible. I didn't get more than like 6 blocks from the bar, and it was an hour. So
You can she can see Onyx just looking at her, and she's like, Onyx is tearing up a little. that someone
Oh.
cares that much about her and would like do that for her, because
She takes both of your hands in hers and says, I know that today feels like you lost. And I know that I don't know if your friend can come back. We heard enough on the TV to hear you asking Susan to bring her back, and then they cut off part of it. But if Passion saw anything in you that I see, she would want to come back to you guys. And she would want to come back to you. And I know that I'm not exactly cut out of the same cloth as she is, considering she's like a superhero, I guess, and a reality star, and apparently an adventurer that is now maybe a martyr. I don't know. She's like, okay, so what I'm saying is, I really like you too. And I'm fine if this doesn't have to be a completely monogamous thing.
Onyx
I just want you
smiles
to be happy.
and moves closer to her to kiss her.
She kisses you and just hugs you and holds on to you.
And then she, like, after the kiss, she actually just calls up and it's like, can you just like hold me and we can cuddle?
She definitely does. She like tucks you into the thing where you're like, it has her head on, or her chin on top of your head and just holds you for as long as you want her to.
Yeah,
Soft gay, soft gay.
That's where Onyx falls probably asleep. However, before she does so, she like says to Lily, "It's like, you don't have to be a superhero or anything like that for me. That's not what I liked about Passion, and I don't think that's what I think what Passion liked most about me was that I didn't put her on a pedestal, but I didn't view her as anyone special, but just as her. And you're you, and that's what makes you special."
And she just hugs you tighter.
Mm.
And like does the thing where she like hurting through your hair, but it's just the like, don't you have like gemstones or something at the top of your head?
It's
white quartz.
Not gemstones, but white obsidian.
Yeah, just like trying to give you the equivalent of like a massage to get rid of the stress, but you're made of rock, so it's maybe not the most effective thing.
It's appreciated. The attempt is appreciated.
And if there's anything else the rest of you guys would like to do before you take your long rest.
I still want to head to Henshin Command with Phil.
Okay.
But
Hey, Gurk, you want to get more corruption?
hey kids, you want some more corruption?
Is that what you do every time you have a time off?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's.
Yes.
I didn't push it on those kids in that hotel or
Hey
whatever.
kids, you want some corruption?
Oh my god.
Why? Oh yeah, because you're a corruption druid. Oh, that's right.
Sammy would want to talk to, just hang out with Tomo a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Sammy, you can come with if you want. I got some Henshin business to take care of.
Oh, okay. I don't want to interfere in Henshin business.
It's I mean, Phil, it's not like it's a secret at this point, is it?
He's like, she's a Henshin.
Yeah.
If you don't want to keep secrets from each other, there's no need.
Nah, we're good. You can come with. Come on.
Okay.
So what is your goal for this, Tomo? Are you looking to get the resurrection, or are you just going to Ranger Command to talk to them?
She wants to talk to them about becoming the mentor.
Okay. They take you through the teleporter. And Sammy, you come back into the same room that you were in before. And as you guys arrive, there's a Saren woman in the like civilian outfit sort of thing, just sort of standing there with a data pad and says, so you folks are here to talk about what was that again? Ranger Phantom Rider, is it now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And Phil, just if you'll allow him, just like sort of perches on your shoulder.
Yeah, he can be up there.
He says, we're here to talk about command structure in Del Diablo, in the Del Diablo command center, and maybe sharing responsibilities. And she just sort of like, oh, okay. One sec. I will see if I can get a hold of the region Henshin manager and line Florida.
So what you're saying is someone's asking to speak to their manager?
I mean,
she's asking to be the manager, so
No, she's asking to speak to the manager to become the manager.
She takes off.
oh my god, she's gonna kill the manager.
She's doing the
become
ultimate Karen.
Yeah, I was about to say she takes off her helmet and just the Karen haircut.
Oh god! Ah!
Actually, funny thing about that, she does take off her helmet.
The Karen cut, is that like the Snyder cut?
except the Karen cut actually exists.
But yeah, her hair is actually a lot longer than I think it was.
So things that Tomo would know that Phil probably would have filled her in on during this is he is what's considered a team leader. So he is in charge of the team. He's a mentor. Technically, you or Passion could be considered team leader of your little team of Henshin that the two of you make. But it's not really been made anything formal since it's just the two of you guys and you don't have like a formal Henshin team. It's just you guys and an adventuring party.
What would you guys
both
call
are considered
yourselves?
independents. And that the person that you guys would need approval from to talk to would be the sector leader, the person in Ranger Command that controls that entire side of the D12 that Del Diablo is on. She sort of takes you into a meeting and says, they should be here shortly. If you guys want to wait, do you guys need any coffee or anything? And she's sort of just like staring at Tomo.
I would kill for some coffee.
Yeah, or anything at all. I know it's probably been a really rough day for you.
It's been a rough day, but coffee will be fine for now. Thank you.
My brain has stopped functioning about the time like 3 hours ago, so I'm good.
Coffee then, or
at least bring my friend here some water at
a
least.
sandwich maybe?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. He should be in a moment. Give me 2 seconds while I
Sure. Tomo kind of turns to
something.
Sammy and is like, "Hey, you know, it's funny. I guess I can talk to you since you're a henchman. Maybe you get it. I never really liked this city that much. Like, my whole goal for the longest time was just to get my debt paid off and maybe get my corruption healed off and then get out of here and go home. But I mean, shit, I have an entire bomb that could blow the city up strapped to my heartbeat now."
I will say that probably in that ensuing car ride, they probably had a bomb squad come out and take care of that.
Oh, okay.
They weren't gonna let you out of their sight while you have
whole fun conversation.
I'm sorry. It's just they're not gonna let you walk out of sight while you have a bomb underneath the city strapped to your chest.
Okay, fair enough. Well, then backtrack to. I put a
one.
bomb. Yeah, I put something that could have destroyed this whole place onto my own heartbeat.
You did it to stop somebody from destroying it, right?
Well, sure, but like, I don't know. It's just weird to me, you know?
I mean, I don't think it's weird. You're a good person.
Well,
A few minutes later, the same woman comes back in with a tray with like a carafe of coffee and creamer and whatnot, and behind her walks in a dwarf in the gray uniform with the red chevrons of command on his shoulder. Sort of walks in, looks over at you, and the woman just sort of sits the thing down and says, if there's anything else you need, I should be at a desk right outside. And the guy sort of nods to her. He is a male dwarf, in just like, not in the actual ranger, in like the power suit, but in his regular uniform. Sort of pulls a chair up and he says, so, Phantom Rider and Solar Lady, right?
yes, sir.
Phil, or and he corrects him with the full name, if I can find it.
It's not Knight, it's Dr. Knight.
The great and magnificent one. Fine, Phil works. He just sort of like leans his head down, flutters off of Tomo's shoulder to land on the chair next to him. And he holds his hand out to you guys and he says, I'm Pintrell. I am region commander for the entire area of Del Diablo. So can I ask Tomo why you want to be a team leader? Or a mentor, rather?
Frank, or give you some sort of professional answer?
Yes.
Okay. Well, to be frank, the past couple of weeks have given me a lot of time to think when I'm not out in the middle of some firestorm with a bunch of wonderful people. But I think it's time I stopped trying to run from every problem I've ever come across and actually do something to make a difference. Like, obviously, as a Henshin, I've been making a difference, but I've been doing it for my own reasons, not for the reasons a Henshin should be a Henshin.
And what reasons are those?
To keep myself from facing the fact that I have ran away from everything. And that I am a selfish person. But what I do know is that those girls are the best of any Henshin I've ever met, with the exception of maybe Passion and Sammy. But if I can help them do things that I wasn't able to do when I was their age, then that should be enough.
He sort of puts his tablet down. He had been like sort of scrolling through it while you were talking, just puts it down. So for what it's worth, I read your file, but it doesn't have a ton of details in there. But I can put some pieces together. And that recaster would not have picked you if you were truly like how you look at yourself, clearly. And while it might not be the most important thing, it is important that a mentor knows that they have just as much of a place on this team as everyone else. But I can see that you do care for these girls and are trying to keep them safe. And I will say, you and your team, you and in Passion, that small team there, you guys might have stopped a war. In fact, you definitely did. I don't know everything that happened on that roof. I don't spend a ton of time in the city proper, considering, the massive amount of corruption is kind of hard to get rid of. But I know that for us to do what we have to do to try and stop this anarchist and whoever, if anybody, he's been working with, we're going to need all the help we can get. And if you think that you can help those girls become even better than they are, I think that they can help you become better than you are. And if the rumors that I've been hearing are true, I think they could also be a help for Passion when she comes back. He sort of turns to Phil and says, so with the great and magnificent one who brings about changes to the world by sheer might of greatness approves, then I am willing to commend you as assistant mentor to the seasonal girls, in that you will be trained by Phil to do everything that it takes to run a Ranger command, considering I don't think you have any experience much in the command centers. You're sort of
I've been independent, yeah.
And when he deems that you are worthy, then either you will take full command of the team, or the two of you will work as a two-part team together. And Phil sort of like ruffles his wings and stretches them out and sort of hangs his head and reaches a big wing up and scratches and says, so I'll be honest, Tomo, you scare the shit out of me. I just about locked the entire district down when the girls wanted to go after you. But that's what they're trained to do. They did the right thing. I should have let them. It probably would have gotten them killed.
Not as long as I'm there.
What I'm saying is, when I lost the girls prior to them, it hurt a lot, and I think it hurt me as a mentor. And I think having a sounding board as different as you and I are might be the best thing for them.
Makes sense to me.
Tomo, what happens when you are the system that you're telling them to fuck against?
Oh no, see, Phil's the system that I'm telling them to fuck off. I'm the one who tells them, no, we're gonna do this the fun way.
Phil just sort of like rolls his head, and the dwarf at the other end of the table is just like smiling and working on his tablet. And Phil says, so as long as we agree that we are a team and we're not going to contradict each other in the big stuff, like I don't give a shit if they stay up past midnight as long as they get up and do their stuff in the morning. I sound like a big, mean, angry dad, but like my kids are all adults. I'm not a dad as much anymore.
Partners in this, Phil. I'm not gonna try and contradict you. You've obviously been doing this a lot longer than I have.
Oh, you're giving me a mommy.
I think Onyx would lead the seasonal girls. That would be a very good idea.
Definitely.
She's a cool big sister.
And I think we could make this work. And I would be honored to train you to be a mentor as I once was. And Pentrell sort of like cracks his knuckles. So, first order of business, Tomo, do you have a Ranger Command Handbook?
No.
we're gonna get you one, and a couple of things to read up on and stuff like that. And he sort of like leans back and he uses his tablet to like push open the door to see that like assistant woman, and she's like, oh, and like immediately runs over and grabs the door away from the tablet and just like checking to make sure that's safe. And she says, so is everything ready? Can I do you need like refills or anything? And the guy's like, no, we're done. Make sure that Phantom Rider, Racer, whatever here, Tomo, Mentor Tomo, gets a handbook and all the training videos that you can get your paws on. And
Oh
she
my
says,
god, are
"Oh,
they
I
like
can do
from
that."
like when Verm was teaching and they're like,
Here's
you'd
Verm.
be like,
Wait,
so,
wait.
you got Henshin command now.
A moment or so later, she comes back with a physical handbook. It is actually a hardbound handbook that is printed out, and a small little like USB drive on a disc. And she says, any computer you put that in should work. The password. She will tell you that the password is the day and time that you first found your recaster.
Oh.
Something that only Tomo would really know, but it's something that she wouldn't that Ranger Command would also know. And she says, and the USB should have everything you need. And you sort of like look down and you're like, okay. Oh my, that's a lot. That's a lot of gigabytes on that thing. Hope that's not full.
That should be fine.
And Pendrell sort of like leans back in his chair and stretches, and he says, so you know where you're going for that that resurrection that I assume everybody is gonna assume you're getting?
Yeah, we've been talking about that. Right now we're between Luxor Prime and Neo Radami, so
He sort of looks to Phil and he's like, you Luxor Prime, you mean Thunder? And Phil sort of nods. He's like, he's a priest of Alpha Z. He's sort of a traveling priest. Last I saw, messages. He's sort of a traveling priest, but he's good at what he does. There is a Ranger Command Center pretty dang close to where the temple is that he's usually at. So we could contact him and get him to you guys very quickly. Alternatively, we could probably find somebody in the city, but that might take a little bit longer.
we'll figure it out.
Actually, Thunder's a Henshin, so we could bring him here if you'd like, or bring him to Del Diablo if he'd be willing to.
That might make things easier, to be honest.
Whichever you prefer. Do you think Del Diablo or here, or do you want to talk to your team about it first?
Let me talk to everyone first.
Okay. And he they set you up with all of the things that you need to become a mentor. And Sammy, if you are interested, they will also offer you a Henshin handbook.
Oh no, I'm good. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Your green screen just decided to fuck up.
The
I
sunshine
know the lights
rebels.
just went off.
Oh wow.
All right. Okay. The internet was still working though, so that was weird. Whoa. What the fuck's going on?
We should probably wrap it up then.
Yeah. So we will say that you guys make your way back to Del Diablo. Does Sammy want to go with them again, or
Yeah, I mean she's not leaving until Passion's up on her feet. She will turn to Tomo and say, I think it's really brave of you to do what you're doing.
I hope so. Honestly, part of this is I'm just putting off meeting my mom. So, yeah.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
I can't see my mom anymore, so I would go do it right now.
Yeah, it's a bit different. I'll tell you about it sometime.
I will say,
so we'll say you guys.
there. Dio's missing you.
Yeah, I should go talk to her soon too.
You should have seen her face when Passion said your name. I'm not pressuring you to go to talk to people of your past, because God only knows that that's so hard to do, especially when you feel like you did something wrong. But time heals all wounds. And trust me on that one. I know. I don't want anybody else to make the same mistakes I did and then regret not telling people how you really feel.
So we'll say that you guys get the materials you need, make your way back to Del Diablo. And if you like, Phil and the girls do invite either both you, Sammy, and Tomo, if you would like to spend the night here, or if you would like to go back to Twin Pines Apartments, or just to Tomo's place, or wherever you would like to go.
I'll chill out here unless Sammy wants to see my place.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll hang out here too.
We'll say they probably that evening the girls pull out like big bowls of popcorn and blankets and put on some like sappy animated goofy movie that's basically the equivalent of like a Disney movie.
We're watching the Goofy movie. I love that movie.
To relax with and try and get some rest before you guys try and take your rest for the evening. And we'll end there. And next time, hopefully, you guys can work on getting Passion back.
Passion never dies.
What you're saying is they're gonna work to reignite their passion.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, hopefully Demona would be back.
Real quick before we go, because I know that Aya's got stuff. We'll let the guests go first. What do you have going on, student Aya?
Hello, everybody. I'm Aya, and you can find me at Aya Golder on all the Twitter thingies. I have a sale for commissions right now. If you want cute couple drawings, I'll do that for you. Give me smooches, because I wanted to do them. I want to draw them. I want to give them all out. Feel the love for everybody. Yeah, so that's me going on right now.
As of the date of the stream, we only got 1 week before Valentine's Day. Better hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good gift. It's a good gift. Art's a good gift.
Sure it is. Get yourself some hot smooches. Give yourself the gift of shipping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What better gift than the one of giving money for commissions to Aya?
Yeah.
Yeah. So up next, Alt, what do you have going on?
Oh shit, that's me. Hi, I'm Alt. You can find me on Twitter at Altaziel. I am currently in the process of starting a very long form project with a undead cowboy in the Deadlands setting. So that's going to be a thing for a while. Other than that, you can find me on a stream on Vex's channel on Thursdays, ran by the wonderful artist of the Retroverse, Uis, who you should go follow on Twitter and be a patron. And other than that, you should go follow at Colloquy and get a commission from Aya.
Yeah, man.
Because art's fucking amazing.
Oh, thank you.
So-
You.
Up next in my overlay is Hera.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Hera Hacks on Twitter, and you can also find me on Twitch, where I very sometimes stream some Dark Souls, beating up bosses with fire and lightning and fists, because my fist run turned into a firebender run, so that's happening sometimes. And I'm now actually getting to the bosses I haven't fought that much before. So yeah, that's gonna be fun.
So are you using
I'm-
Demon's Fists, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
And Kestis. Both of those. I'm also in that Fairy Road game that is over on Vex's channel, Fractured Moon D&D. I don't know if Alt set the time, but I'm terrible with times. I always forget which time I have to say it and such.
4:30 Eastern Standard Time.
4:30
Yeah.
p.m. EST.
Every Thursday, yes.
Every
And
Thursday.
I'm obviously in this game, and soon I will be over on Heroes Without Limits. That is Age Without Limits. I will be playing in a doctor in a Witcher game, and
I want to sing it.
Into
It took all of my power today to not restart watching that series.
Oh, so good.
it's good.
Coin to your witcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
We should let Aya go soon.
Yeah.
I
that
gotta
is-
go.
Sorry, that is starting on February 22nd, and I'm really bad at times again.
It's fine.
We'll keep
Okay,
tweeting it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also on Twitter, I will soon hopefully actually share some stuff I've been working on, like TTRPG wise. I have worked on some stuff. I have some Google documents. I need to make them pretty now, maybe some of that stuff. And
You have some great graphic designer friends that could totally help you out with that.
yeah, but I wouldn't want to pay them, and I don't have that much money, so.
Mood.
But I may come back to you.
yeah.
On that. So yeah.
Vex, what do you got?
Well, follow me on Twitter at Vex. It's on the overlay. Couldn't remember there. It's Vexy Hexy, but you can also follow my Twitch channel, where, as both Alt and Hera have said, we do every Thursday Furry Road at 4:30 p.m. EST.
If you're watching live on Twitch, it is down below this stream on this channel. Fractured_moon.
Fractured
right?
Moon D&D.
Come watch us
Um,
play. I do fun voices.
And I also am I'm going to try and do some streaming on there more, but
I
yes, I've
also heard that there's a really, really cute duck girl on that stream as well.
I feel like there might be some bias. but
Yeah, what
yes,
the heck?
I
Can't
don't-
disagree.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, bye.
Bye, guys. Text me if you
And-
want to talk to me,
Yeah,
but I gotta go.
She had to
Bye.
bounce because she's got a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, what a nerd.
All right.
Bye.
And that's pretty much everything for me right now. And I'm on the same game as Hera. Actually, same game. I'm on the Heroes Without Limits game with Hera, where I'll be playing a mage. Cat froze.
Toss a
And-
coin to your witcher. God damn it.
Yep.
And that's everything for me.
Hey, I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
You're back.
Okay. Luke, you got anything?
No, the new One Piece game comes out next month, though, so you should all get that.
Buy Animal Crossing and Doom.
And our lovely host here, Scotty, what do you got going on?
Okay, well, our overlay is effed, but that's okay because we're ending it here. So, if you like the show or any of the other shows in this channel, please follow or like or subscribe, whichever. If you're on YouTube or Twitch or both, it would be very grateful. So, thank you for watching.
It's literally
Yeah.
hours of good content. I have spent so many work days just watching all of the Descent into Avernus videos.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And we'll see you guys next time, I guess.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.